There's a lot of mosquitoes under here. Welcome to Being in Luck. My name is Pasha, and in the last video, we took apart the fuel pump hanger assembly on this 3000 GT, fixed it up, and got it looking like brand new and fully functional. Today, in this video, we're gonna be taking the fuel tank down and completely rebuilding that too. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Go on ahead. Well, there's a lot of Black Widows that are dead now, but I'm pretty sure I got these bolts, and then there might be some back in the back there. Fuel tank should be able to come out without me messing with the exhaust. Icky. Okay, so I got all three of the lines off, and I'm pretty sure I'm ready to take the tank down now. Well, here's the fuel tank. I'm probably gonna take this off. As you guys can see in here, it is disgusting. I mean, absolutely crusty. So it's a nice day. I try to take this to a place to get it cleaned chemically or through electrolysis, and there's no one around here who will do it. So I thought about using my own ways of chemical cleaning it. However, I decided screw that because it would take way too much stuff. It wouldn't even work that well because there's so much crust in there. I don't want to waste my time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this thing along the seam and cut it open and actually take it apart so I can properly clean it and make sure that the inside isn't too corroded, pretty much restore it myself, and then after it's all done, weld it all back together. Here we go. That's it. Oh my god, that was perfect. Check this out, YouTubes. Are you ready for the brand freaking spanking? Oh, let's bring this out in the sun. Look at all this crud in here. That is exactly why we had to do what we did. Look at this perfect cut. It's amazing. Okay, let's check this out. Yeah, that's really bad. So now we gotta clean it ourselves. Alright, so I took the wire brush to it as best as I could, got all the big chunks out, and we're gonna try to stick this in the sand blaster and see if we can clean it that way. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so it took me about an hour, and in combination with a wire wheel brush and the sandblaster, I got this thing cleaned up pretty nicely. These little dark spots are showing up on the camera, they're just like kind of dark, I don't know. It's clean, it's really clean now. It took me about an hour to do this panel because there's a lot of like edges and stuff in here, but yeah, it's looking really good. I'm gonna put WD-40 on it and let it soak so it doesn't get rust on it. I got most of the heavy silt out with the air wrench and wire wheel, and now I'm gonna go ahead and take it to the sandblaster and clean it up as best as I can. Yeah, there's a little bit there still, but that's pretty much metal. It's just like pitted. It's pretty clean actually. This is about as good as it's gonna get. So I'm gonna go ahead and lather the whole thing, spray it down in WD-40 again so it doesn't rust, all that's left is to weld it back together. I'm just gonna slowly weld it in spots so it doesn't get too hot. Should be good, should be like brand new. I'm excited. Okay, so I got the welder out here. And now for the hardest part, and why nobody ever pretty much does this, I'm gonna attempt to weld this back together. As you can see, there's kind of some gaps and stuff, because of course it does flex a little out of shape after you cut it and you're working with it. However, I have a plan, because it's not too bad, so I'm gonna spot weld it in a couple spots and then, you know, do what I have to do. I'm sure it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Let's do it. Well guys, last night I finished welding this tank up. So let's go over for a second what went on here. So the video that you guys saw of me like spot welding it together. So what I did first was I spot welded all the way around, put like a layer, you know, weld on there, as you guys saw. When we went to pressure test it, of course there was like a whole bunch of leaks all around. So yesterday what I did was I didn't record any of this because it was just a lot of work and time. But I pretty much went and took the welder. I put actual full-on beads, and I was actually able to do actual beads, or an actual bead, all the way down this on top of the metal that I already put down from spot welding, and it did not melt the tank. In a couple areas it did melt the tank, like up here I did get a hole, so I had to fill it in. But yeah, so now if you go all the way around here, it's not pretty. There was a couple holes here and here that I also had to fill in. So this is not pretty, obviously. However, this is 100% functional. There are no more leaks in this tank. We put I have like a smoke machine, so you can see leaks and stuff, and it puts out about 1 pound of pressure with an air pressure regulator on it. And I was able to put this thing holds air pressure inside of it, finally. So the process that I did was I'd plug up all these holes, stuck the air pressure regulator smoke maker thingy on here. Then I just went around with a spray bottle with some soap in it and sprayed around this entire thing to see where the holes are at. And yeah, I just found the holes, marked them with a chalk, and then did my best to get rid of the hole by welding and, you know, doing what I had to do. And that's why it looks kind of weird and iffy, because there was holes in certain areas, so I had to put, you know, a little bit more than other areas. So anyway, that took quite a bit of time, but this thing is finally leak proof and back together. So all I have to say about this is desperate times call for desperate measures, and luckily it worked out for us here. So as you can see, there's a little bit of rust from when I was doing the water thing. I did clean this up, you know, as best as I could with a wire wheel. I need to get a new wire wheel because it's a little worn out. But all I'm gonna do now is take my paint and I'm just gonna paint over this so it doesn't rust anymore. And then I might do one more. I'm gonna probably do one more pressure test on it. Okay, so we have this like smoke maker here, and it's got a pressure regulator on it.
We're not gonna use smoke.
Yeah, as soon as what that does is creates a pound of pressure into here, into our tank. Basically what I did is sprayed water along this to see any holes, and we could literally, I mean, you could hear if there'd be a hissing noise. And
I don't hear no hissing noise. Do you?
No. Watch, let go of that. Yeah, you heard that. That was a. This thing is it's leak proof. As you guys can see, I cut this off. So what I'm gonna do, this is actual fuel injection hose. It's 15/16. I got 1 foot of it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on here, and then I'm gonna put like 3 clamps on this, okay, to get it nice and tight. There's just no other way I can do it without, you know, I don't even know. I don't know about any other ways I could do this, to be honest. Might be able to get like a flare fitting, but it would just be, it'd be a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna try this first, see if I can get it on there real tight. Got a barb here. I'm just gonna cut off. I'm gonna stick the barb in there, and then put a couple of hose clamps on this, and then cut off this stock screw-in fitting and stick the barb in there and put a bunch of hose clamps on that. That's the plan. So there you have it. Like new. It's like a brand new fuel tank. So now we're just gonna go ahead and put it back in the car and connect all the hoses up. And then we'll finally get to see if it works! Oh, look at this thing! So now all I gotta do is reconnect all these hoses. Yeah, I gotta remember what went where. Okay, we got the tank in. I got the little heat shield on and everything. Got all the hoses connected. Got the filler hose connected. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the wheel back on and drop this thing down, and we'll make the last connections, the electrical connection and hose up there. Okay, that's really tight. There's no way that's gonna be coming off anytime soon. Alright, so we got triple clamps on this. It's not gonna go anywhere, it's really tight. And here's our connector, plugs in here. And that's it. It's done. The fuel system is done. Got everything put together, got the battery in there. Got this back on temporarily. She's ready to turn over. I still got to figure out the clutch, so it's not. I'm not gonna move it anywhere, obviously. I just want to see if it'll start. This is it. This is where all that work went. Let's see. The lights work. There she is! You guys heard it. Yes. Victory! Unfortunately, I could not run the engine any longer because the steering rack is leaking and I do not want to burn up the power steering pump. That will be the next video where I take down this rack, which I'm gonna do today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to stick around to follow the project, you know what to do. My name is Pasha, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.